Almost all of the bush in the lowlands of the Hunter Valley is one of 4 nationally critically endangered woodland communities. They're critically endangered because so much of their original extent has been cleared already, and so little of what remains is safe from further clearing. 2 of them occur nowhere else but this region. In the last 5 years, thousands of hectares of native woodland in the Hunter Valley has been approved for clearing by coal mines. Much of the remaining vegetation is part of a forest community called Central Hunter Valley Eucalypt Forest. The advice prepared by the scientific committee that led to this forest being listed as critically endangered warned that it would be extinct in 40 to 60 years if we don't stop clearing it. Wildlife that use these forests are also at risk of regional extinction. They may vanish from the Hunter altogether. So how do the mines manage to get permission to clear all this bush? With a sleight of hand known as offsetting. They go to the government promising to compensate for clearing bush in one place by not clearing it somewhere else. We end up with half as much bush as we started with and a piece of paper with a promise written on it from a mining company. Offsetting converts endangered wildlife and bushland into numbers. If the sum of the biodiversity you destroy in one place is equal to the sum that you won't destroy somewhere else, you get the stamp of approval. But the coal mining companies sometimes run into trouble because you've got to have some standards. And the rules say if the forest community you're clearing is critically endangered or nationally endangered, you've got to compensate for the clearing with offsets that are the same kind of bush. But when it comes to Central Hunter Valley Eucalypt Forest, which only grows on the lowlands of the Hunter, on the Permian soils that overlie coal deposits, there really aren't any areas left for the coal companies to promise not to clear. So they convince the government to loosen the rules. They're being allowed to clear critically endangered forests now and getting the government's approval to use the same place, the mine pit, as an offset by promising that when they're done mining the coal, they'll put the topsoil back and replant the forest. So, in 25 years' time, when Central Hunter Valley Eucalypt Forest is almost extinct, they'll plant a lot of seedlings, and the bats and birds and lizards can just hang out in Singleton and wait for a few more decades for them to grow into a fully mature forest. The latest mine proposal in the Hunter is for 2 super pits called United Wombo, joining up 25 kilometres of almost continuous open-cut pits and clearing nearly 200 football fields of critically endangered forest in the process. They're promising to write down on a piece of paper that they'll grow some back and that they'll find some other critically endangered forest to not push over after the government gives them the stamp of approval. Do you believe them?